Introducing the ThorBolt Smart Biometric Doorknob with Fingerprint and Keypad. Enjoy the convenience of controlling your door lock from anywhere using Apple HomeKit over Thread. Whether you're at home or away, you can check the status of your door, lock or unlock it remotely, and even set up automations. With its advanced fingerprint recognition and durable construction, the ThorBolt is a reliable and convenient choice for any home. Now you might be wondering, didn't I already review the ThorBolt? And to be fair, I did, but this one actually takes it up to another level because it's built on Thread and works with Apple HomeKit, which is going to take it from an offline doorknob to an online doorknob that you can control from anywhere with your phone. Now, cliff notes, if you don't know what Thread is, it's actually a smart home standard that allows all the different Thread devices to talk to each other, and they actually all intertwine through a Thread-enabled Apple Home Hub, such as a HomePod Mini. Now, being that I already did take a look at this, I know exactly what to expect already. A good quality smart lock that works fantastically. It feels great, very sturdy, looks great, and feels very strong. Now, like I said, although the last one was amazing, it was an offline doorknob, and I would prefer to have one online, so this one is definitely going to take its place. But of course, how you feel about that depends on your personal preference, if you want to be connected or not. So I actually have two models here in two different colors, and we're going to check them both out. First things first, we're going to start with the black model. Inside the box, we have an installation guide and user manual, as well as a template in case you need to make the hole. We also do have all the screws we need to get it installed, as well as a strike plate, two thin metal keys in case the batteries happen to die and you need a way in, as well as the ThorBolt MK1 with Thread itself. And as you can see, it has a very nice matte black design, feels very strong, and this thing actually takes maybe 5 minutes to install, assuming you already have a hole in your door. Of course, up top, we do have the fingerprint sensor along with an LED ring light, along with an LED light on the front as well. We also do have a full-on backlit numeric keypad here in case you want to enter in a PIN code, and this supports actually up to 100 fingerprints as well as 100 PIN codes, so you can have everybody have their own. Then of course on the bottom we do have this rubber flap here that does cover up a USB Type-C port in case the battery happens to die. You can plug in a power bank, as well as a keyhole for the metal key. And now moving on to the second one, I think this is actually gonna be my favorite because it's gonna look so nice. We have the titanium model. Of course inside we have the same installation guide, user manual, and template, same pack of mounting hardware, as well as the two thin metal keys. But where things start switching up, we have the nice brushed titanium color here. Looks fantastic. Gives it that nice different color depending on the color scheme of your home. As you can see up top, we also do have the fingerprint sensor and LED lights. Over on the front, that backlit numeric keypad. And down on the bottom, the rubber flap covering up the USB-C port along with the metal keyhole. Now, of course, as you can see, this is exactly what it's gonna look like once it's installed in your door. You're gonna have your doorknob on the outside, doorknob on the inside, and as you turn it, you can see the inside never actually locks, so you can always open it, and then the outside remains locked until you use your finger, PIN code, or app. Overall, so far, very high quality feeling with a great design, just like their predecessors. Now, with that being said, let's go get this installed and see how quick and easy it is. Now, in order to get the ThorBolt installed, you need nothing more than a simple Phillips head screwdriver and maybe 5 minutes of time, assuming you already have a hole in your door, just like so. To get things started, we need to disassemble our entire assembly. We're gonna start with one screw right here on the bottom, and we're gonna pull off this little piece. Next, we're gonna take out this screw as well as this screw with the same screwdriver. And now once we have the screws removed, we can easily take everything apart. Make sure you're careful with the wire. In order to disconnect the wire, just simply push down and pull out. Of course, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is install your strike plate, but as you can see, I already have one, and I'm just gonna choose to use the one that's already installed to save time. So the first thing we gotta do is install our latch, and make sure you put it the direction of your door, so that way this side will go in and close the door. As you can see, we're just gonna slide it into the hole that we already have. Take two of these screws from our mounting kit and get them inside. Of course, with our simple Phillips head screwdriver. Easy, and as you can see, it is nice and installed. You might need to extend it depending on how deep your door goes in. Next, we're gonna take our exterior assembly. That's the one that has the fingerprint reader and the keypad. We're gonna take this wire, feed it underneath of the latch, and feed this piece through the middle. Now you wanna make sure that this part that says up is facing upward in order to make sure everything is set correctly. Simply take this wire, feed it underneath, get the rods inside, everything lines up perfectly. Next, we're gonna take our interior assembly, that's the one with the batteries, and we're actually gonna take the wire that we disconnected earlier and get it back connected. It only goes one way, so don't try to force it. Simply clips into place with a satisfying click. And you wanna make sure you don't kink the wire, so you're actually gonna feed it inside the little opening at the bottom to keep it out of the way. And while you're installing this, make sure you pay attention and put the side that does say up and has the reset button facing upward. So we're gonna tuck in the wires underneath on the bottom, just like so, and then line everything up, just like that. Next, we're gonna take those two screws we removed earlier, get them into place, and you guessed it, Phillips head screwdriver. Just like that. Keep in mind you do want to get it nice and tight without over tightening it. And now before we move any further, you want to make sure everything's working as it's supposed to. So you're going to turn the interior knob, make sure it opens up just like so. The exterior knob should not open anything up, and everything should be nice and secured. Next up, we're going to take 4 AA batteries and place them inside, positive and negative. As you can see, we do have a nice audible beep that confirms that we do indeed have power. And now to finish everything up, we're going to take our interior cover, place it on top, take that little screw from earlier, and of course, Phillips head screwdriver it into the bottom. Just like so. And just like that, about 5 minutes later, ThorBolt is officially installed. Now by default, any numbers that you happen to type in will actually work to unlock the door, and any fingerprint that you put on will also automatically unlock the door until you get everything set up. And of course, while we're at it, before we actually secure the door, let's actually test out the metal key just in case we get locked out. It simply slides in the bottom, twist, and allows you to open the door with ease. Very nice. We're gonna actually go into the App Store and download the Sleekpoint app and open it up. We're gonna tap on the plus sign right there on the bottom left. We're gonna choose the ThorBolt MK1. Now, if you did wait too long before you actually did this step, you might have to hold down the reset button on the unit itself on the interior assembly, but since we just got everything set up, we should be fine. We're gonna confirm. I'm gonna scan the QR code on the interior assembly. As you can see, it detected it as a lock, so we're gonna tap Add to Home. And now this might take a few minutes to get everything set up and working. After a couple minutes, we get to choose our lock location. We have bedroom, living room, dining room, kitchen, entrance, you name it, or you can even make your own room to get everything set up exactly how you want it for your smart home. I'm just gonna choose bedroom and tap continue. Now here we can actually name the lock whatever we want. For example, if it's your bedroom lock, you can have master bedroom lock, or kids bedroom lock, or maybe game room lock, whatever you want, it's up to you. I'll just leave it at ThorBolt Smart Lock and continue. And now next up, it wants us to make an access code that residents and guests at the home can use on the lock to unlock it with a PIN code. So we can choose whatever we want. We're gonna tap on continue. I just chose something simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, but obviously you don't wanna use 1, 2, 3, 4 for your actual lock to secure anything. And now just like that, the lock is added to my home. We're gonna tap on done. And of course, now that we have it set up, if we go into our Apple Home app, we can actually see the ThorBolt lock, and you can lock and unlock it with the single tap of a button. Now down on the bottom, we actually do have a gear icon, so we can actually see more settings in here, including battery level, what room it's in. We can add it to the home view, include it in favorites, as well as manage access. It gives you some suggested scenes. For example, when you arrive home, it'll automatically unlock, as well as automatically locking when you leave home. We can also go to the status and see that we can include it in home summaries. And overall, it's pretty simple and straightforward, because what really else do you need to do than unlock it and lock it with the smart home app? And now, as you can see, we have it right here inside the Sleekpoint app. So now with the app, as you can see, it says locked, and right here on the home screen, you can have all your different locks set up here to be seen all at the same time. And as it says, it's locked, so it's locked. But if we actually tap that little button, it unlocks it just like so. We can open the door, and we can even tap on it again in order to lock it for us. Very nice, very straightforward. And remember, because this is on Thread and Apple HomeKit, you can control this from anywhere around the world as long as you have a connection to the internet. So for example, if someone comes over like, hey, I wanna get inside your room, how do I do it? You're like, I'm not gonna give you a code, but I'll unlock it for you so you can go in there real quick and get what you need. Now taking things further, if we tap on ThorBolt, we can actually go in here and see everything there is about the lock. Right here in the middle, we do have the big button to unlock it with a simple tap, just like so. And also lock it. Very simple and straightforward. Now the thing is, we do have a very big visualization here that shows you that it's locked or unlocked, so you can see at a quick glance. Now up here on the top right, we can see that we have auto locking enabled. We have Bluetooth, as well as the battery status for the batteries that are inside of the lock, so you know if you need to change them soon. Now if we look all the way down here at the bottom, we do have lock activity. So if we go here, we can actually see how often the lock was unlocked and locked, and when and what time and by who. So as you can see today, we have the app unlocking it and locking it over and over at 9:38 p.m. If we go over here to the left side, we can tap on when it was unlocked, when it was locked, or when maybe somebody typed in a wrong code and tried to get access to the room. Then of course, up on the top right, we can tap on the calendar icon and choose exactly what day or what time period that we want to see the locking and unlocking schedule that happened. Now, if we go back on the bottom, we also do have manage access. So if we tap on that, we can actually manage access for the lock. So for example, we can tap on the plus sign, we can enter a name. So let's call this Bob, and we can have a tag and location. So we'll just say housekeeping. Tap on next, and now we can choose how often we want Bob to be able to access this lock. Unlimited, so it can be used every day at any time. Limited, so it can only be used at certain times and certain days, as well as a one-time use code. So for example, you're sending your friend over like, hey, I give you this one-time code so you can get in and get out, get your stuff and never go there ever again. So you know what, let's actually just try the one-time code so we can actually make up the code. We'll just do 1472. Next. We can choose the date and the time we want it to be able to be used, which is very cool. We can tap on next. We heard a beep, so now the access is set up. So we have a one-time use code for any time during the day for Bob to access this room. So now if I type it in, 1472 unlock, it unlocks. We can go inside, do whatever we're doing, leave, and then it'll automatically lock, just like so. And now we can't get back in. If he tries again, 1472, it does not work and he's locked out permanently now. Now keep in mind, although we do have auto lock on, you can manually lock it as well. So if we type in our code that does work, we have it unlocked. As you can see, we simply press the enter button. It'll lock it exactly right when you press it, so you don't have to worry about it. And now as you can see, we have Bob housekeeping right here. It says the code is expired because it's already been used the one time, and we can actually remove access as well just to clean up the app a bit so we don't have a bunch of expired code just sitting here and taking up space. And don't forget, other than passcodes, we also do have the fingerprint sensor, which right now isn't gonna work because I don't have a fingerprint registered. But if we actually go to manage access, press the plus sign, type in a name, we'll type in my name because it's my fingerprint. Tap on next, we'll say unlimited. We'll give myself a passcode, 123456. Next. And now right here, we can actually add a fingerprint. So I'm gonna enter, let's say right thumb, start. And now as you can see, the fingerprint sensor is lit up with a blue ring because it wants us to put our finger on it 6 times. Every time you do it, it makes an audible chime, turns green. Just make sure you change the angle so that way you can unlock it no matter how you happen to touch it. Just like so, in a matter of seconds, our fingerprint is added. So now I can simply touch it and it'll unlock with my fingerprint just like so. Lock it. Let's try it again. Just like that, very quick and effective. And of course, the password that I did make, 123456, will also unlock the door. Of course, inside of the app, you can add multiple fingerprints for each person. So I can add another fingerprint, let's say right index finger. And now just simply use my right index finger. Just like so. And now, just like that, I can use both of my fingers to unlock it in case one of them's dirty. And unlock it, just like so. Now if we go back to the home screen and go to lock activity again, you can see we had it manually locked, HomeKit code unlocked, automatically locked, and code unlocked by Bob. So we can see that Bob opened the door at 9:41 p.m. and it automatically locked back up about 6 seconds after he unlocked it. Now, of course, back on the home screen, if we go to the top right, we do have a gear icon. So in here, we actually have all the different settings of the lock. Of course, we can edit the name if we want to change it. We have the auto lock settings, so it'll automatically lock after it's unlocked. By default, it's at 5 seconds, but we can actually turn that off if we don't want it to auto lock, or we can actually adjust it to whatever we want up to 3 minutes in time. Then of course we have lockdown mode as well, so we can actually lock down the keypad. So if somebody types in a wrong code 10 times, it'll automatically lock it out so they can't keep trying until they can brute force their way in. We can also adjust it to our liking. We can have how many times in 10 minutes or how many times in an hour before it gets locked out. Next up, we actually have one of my favorite features, which is the anti-peep passcode. So for example, my passcode is 1234. If somebody's looking over my shoulder while I'm trying to type it in, I don't want to just type in 1234 because they'll be able to see that and remember what it is. So if you turn that on, you can actually type in random numbers, 1234, which is your passcode, and then more random numbers at the end to make it look like you have a really long passcode that they're definitely not going to remember. So let's actually give it a shot. We can do okay, well, it doesn't even matter. We're typing in random numbers, 1234, a bunch of random numbers, unlock, and it still unlocks just like so. Very cool, love that feature. Next up, we have the feedback sound. So as you can hear, every time we do something, it beeps, but if you don't like that beep, we can actually turn that off. So now when we happen to do anything, it's completely silent, doesn't make any beeping, which can be annoying depending on if you want to hear it or not. So overall, I am really liking the ThorBolt MK1 with Thread and Apple HomeKit support because it makes my favorite smart door lock smart. So I can actually use it with my app, with or without an internet connection, as long as I have power to my Apple Home Hub that is inside the house controlling all my Thread devices that are all connected together and talking to each other, so they always work, which is really cool. I love that I'm able to be anywhere around the world, make a one-time passcode for Bob over there there so he can go over and get his stuff out of my house. Simply type in the code and then it expires right after he uses it. That is very nice. I can also add people's fingerprints on here and it works every single time. The lock itself, very strong and sturdy with a very nice design. Some people did ask me about the last one, about the shape of this. Now, I know generally doorknobs are more on the rounder side, but being that this is this shape, it's very easy to grip onto it just like so, and you can easily do it in a swift motion. Unlock it and open the door. It's very nice. I like it. But obviously that is personal preference. I just really like how straightforward and easy it is to set this up. Simply install it, which takes about 5 minutes with a simple Phillips head screwdriver, scan the QR code in the Sleekpoint app and it'll connect everything for you in a matter of minutes, and then you can customize it to your liking with all the different fingerprints, pin codes, or even just unlock it with the app itself. Very nice, very cool, and a very good lock.